Hi guys, and welcome back to So Sally-O. So today with me I've got Victoria Heath, who's come from Hypnobirthworks, to talk to you all about hypnobirthing and how it can benefit you in labour and delivery. So keep watching to find out everything that you need to know about hypnobirthing from an expert this time. I've already done a video on my experience using hypnobirthing, so I will link that down below, but I hope you enjoy it. So, can you tell us a bit about your background? How long have you been working in hypnobirthing?
Okay, so I've been working in hypnobirthing for about 8 years. My mum taught NCT for 25 years before she started training the trainers, but she knew there was something missing.
Yeah.
And the bit that was missing was hypnobirthing when she found it, and she said, now we've got tools for the day. We can really help women and their partners to be close and really get these skills on the board. It's a science.
Yeah.
You know, hypnotherapy is working with the plasticity of the mind.
And you can prove things.
Yeah.
You can say, actually, this isn't just
Absolutely.
made up or whatever.
And people can get over fears and phobias with hypnotherapy. And to be honest, sometimes women turn up like rabbits in their headlights.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I've got to do this thing, it's getting bigger inside, it's got to come out.
And it is scary when you're
scary.
pregnant and you think, I'm going to give birth around this time, and you know, although your mum or sister or friend might give you some advice, you're the one that's got to do it, and you just think, I felt anyway that I was kind of at the whim of hospital and doctors and I had no control over anything. But when I discovered it, I did think, okay, it still might go a certain way, I can't control everything, but I've got some tools that made me feel more comfortable, and I thought, well, at least I can do my best, and this might help, and it made me a little bit more confident going into it.
They learn that actually teamwork and support makes such a huge difference.
Yeah.
They learn what their bodies are doing, what the muscles are doing. They learn which hormones are involved. You know, once we get, and I teach them stroking to get the endorphins running in the body so that you've got absolute comfort. And when I just talk about it now, I get goose pimples where the endorphins release. Because I've worked with that plasticity of my mind, and that neural pathway to comfort is really immediate for me. The people who turn up with me are worried often, or they just want to know how to have the best birth for them or their baby. They've decided they've read a bit about drugs and they think, actually, that might not be best for me and the baby, so what else could I do? So that's how they turn up. And actually, do you know, I teach the Wise Hypnobirthing program now. I've taught the Mongan method, I've taught Catherine Graves. They work to an extent. This one I think is the best, because we don't say birth is going to be perfect, you're going to go and the baby's going to float out of you.
Because you don't want to be unrealistic, and I don't want to, you know, portray the idea in this video that if you do this you'll have this straightforward birth, because I've got friends who have done everything right, and sometimes it's out of your control and things happen no matter what you do. It's
about how you come out feeling about it. Now, we can't say, here's my crystal ball, I can see you, if you do this you're going to have this perfect birth. It's not like that. But what I can tell you is that the tools that you're given and the practice, and we have lots of MP3s that you get as part of the package, and a book. And if you do those things, what happens is that whatever turn your birth takes, you can be as comfortable as you can be in that moment. You can stay calm, you can stay relaxed.
That's the key, really.
When I show people hypnobirths, because I show them films of hypnobirths in my classes, and they just cannot believe that's possible. 10 minutes to birth, 5 minutes to birth, 15 minutes to birth, and they're sitting there just kind of chilled and, you know. And you never see that on TV or film or anything. It's all because it's entertainment and it's scary and it's got to be dramatic. But I think it is about that, like you say, managing when someone says, oh, the baby might be in the wrong position, or the head's not coming down the birth canal, whatever, rather than freaking out and then panicking and getting all tense. I suppose is being able to feel calm and go, okay, well, we'll deal with this, and I've got choices. I also teach some spinning babies exercises which help to get the baby optimally positioned for birth and give you some tools to use in labour if baby isn't quite lined up, which actually all the midwives don't always know. So it's extra information that you can use. This planning for the baby to be, you know, to get everything lined up so that it's ready is so important. Our subconscious mind works in pictures and emotions. That's its best language to store information. So is there anything that you can do to help baby get into the right position in the latter stages of pregnancy so that you'll have the best chances of Absolutely. So whenever you're sitting, upright and forwards, so 90 degrees is really important. If you get home and you slouch down like this,
what you feel like you want to do.
The baby's head and the baby's spine are heavier, so they will slide round and your baby will be positioned back to back. The optimal position for birth is for the baby will have its chin to its chest, its hands about here. So it's chin to chest, hands on heart, back to belly. So we want somewhere in this range here for the baby's back to be there. So in the old days, we'd all be kneeling down, scrubbing our floors, scrubbing the doorstep. You know, babies were better positioned. Now, we didn't have the help we needed if we needed it. The doctors didn't really know what they were doing, but naturally, babies were better lined up for birth. These days, we have a mop on a stick.
I know.
We perhaps don't even do our own cleaning. Someone else does it for us.
And so you'll put your feet up, relax, you watch TV,
relax and get comfy because you've been working and you're tired. Now, this isn't great for babies to line up. So there are some spinning babies exercises which you can learn. You know, you could Google Rebozo. R-E-B-O-Z-O, and it's like a big pashmina, but it stretches in different directions.
Oh, I've done that.
You push it around your tummy and you do something called sifting and you
Someone did that to me once, like as a test. That was really nice because it just takes the weight off.
It takes the weight off. It's gorgeous feeling. And it also helps to soften and limber all of the ligaments and the tendons, everything that's holding this all together, so that you're really prepped for labour and birth. And then the Spinning Babies website, they have amazing information on there. It helps to line babies up. It helps to get babies in the right position. There are inversions that you can do where you literally tip yourself off the sofa with your knees still on it head first. And it helps to get it. That doesn't always turn the baby. You have to do it for quite a long time to turn the baby. But so if your baby was head down already, doing inversions wouldn't turn it up the other way. But it does help to get babies in the right position. So there are so many things you can do to get that right, and it makes life quicker. You know, if your baby's back to back, it's pushing on that part of the tailbone that makes it uncomfy. We want in hypnobirthing to totally relax and let our bodies do what they're primarily set to do. If you were in a coma, your conscious mind was disabled. Your subconscious mind is already programmed to have that baby. We'd lie you on your side, we'd put the top leg in front of the bottom leg, and you would birth a baby.
That's
do you know
insane.
How awesome
That's
is
incredible,
that? It's awesome. So what gets in the way is the conscious mind, the chattering bit, the bit that's watched one born every minute, the bit that's listened to all the horror stories.
I know.
Now, when
that sticks then in your mind and you get scared. And
when people have had a birth that was difficult for them or traumatic, if they don't get some help for that, that's what they tell people, because they either want to protect you so you know what's coming, or they just need to say it because they're hurting.
Almost sent it,
Now, there are listening services at the hospital, there are hypnotherapists. You know, with hypnotherapy we can mean that you never forget what happened, but the emotion that went with that is no longer connected, so it doesn't hurt. And remember, when you think about labour, it's not 5 hours, 8 hours, 24 hours of intense. At the height of labour, your surges or contractions are 1 minute long. So we teach women to do a very long, slow breath. And then if they practice this 10 in the morning, 10 in the evening, after a few weeks we get their partners to time that and say, okay, so how many of those breaths, those long, slow breaths, how many fit into 1 minute? And then you know when you start, I've only got to do 6 breaths.
I think that's really encouraging. I should think as well, it's nearly over. Almost by the time it's begun, and my husband would be timing, saying, come on. Almost by the time it's begun and you've got to the peak, it's basically over. And I also really clung on to the fact that there's only so many contractions. So almost like if you're doing a marathon, next mile down, that's one behind you. And every time I was like, there's a limited number of contractions there's going to be. I'm getting there slowly. And I was like, stay in the zone, you can do this, nearly there. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks Victoria for coming, that's been really helpful, and it's been lovely to hear from an expert and someone who's got so much experience. Thanks everyone for watching. Please do share this video with any friends who are pregnant at the moment or who are considering hypnobirthing, and please leave a comment down below if you've got any questions at all. Please give the video a thumbs up below if you've enjoyed it, and don't forget to hit subscribe to see more videos like this, and also hit the bell icon below so that you'll never miss a video again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye guys!